Hey everybody, Zach First Night 2 here, back with with a not really top list or whatever, because I don't do the top numbering system for my favorite whatever it is of whatever it is. I used to do that kind of thing, but I didn't have enough items usually, or too much. But this year there was not a ton of big releases that I wanted this year, for games. But there were quite a few great games out this year. Most of them were primarily Nintendo, but there were a couple of them that I wanted to get that I just did not have the money for. So games like Sonic X Shadow Generations, I do not have it in my collection, but I probably would have put it on this list, but I don't have it. Eventually, I'll try to get the PS5 version of it if I can. But for the games that I do have, I kind of have them in order from when they released, so I'm going to talk about them from that way. And the first one up is Mario vs. Donkey Kong for Nintendo Switch. Obviously came out, I think, like February of last year. I have not even beaten this game yet. I think I'm like in World, or is it World? I think it's level. No, I'm going to say you're just going to say it's World. I think it's like World. I don't remember, like 9, 8, or 10. No, had to be a little further. I think I'm around like either 10 or 13, somewhere around there. But it's a great game. It's a great remake. Amazing music, really nice visuals, and I think this one actually still had Charles Martinet as Mario, because the new voice actor has been here already by this point, but I don't think they used him for this game. I think they used Charles because it doesn't sound like the new voice. But it's a great remake. I really like the music. This case looks great too. I like the art style of it. Looks really nice. Now this game, I have some memories of the original release on the GBA, which is short for Game Boy Advance. Great game. I didn't really get that far in that one, but I got a lot further in the remake. It's really good. Not much else I could say. It's fun gameplay. It's very hard, honestly. It can get very difficult. It's easy for the first couple worlds. Then it starts to actually rank up and get a little bit harder once it gets further ahead along. I cannot even speak without saying I'm trying not to say that. It's kind of hard not to. The level design was really creative. The music's very memorable. My track said it again. My niece and I love this game. She loves this game a lot. I kind of got her hooked onto it. Really good game though. I need to stop saying that. This one is my more recent release that I got, but I know it came out during the summertime of the last year, so it's going to be for Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon, or technically 2 HD. I have the original, which I should have brought for the video. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back. And I do have the original 3DS release of Dark Moon. This was the original release of it. I'm not sure if you can get this at focus or not, but it's literally pace for pace the exact same game. It's literally not much different from the original release. The whole thing is that it's an HD with slightly better textures and slightly better lighting effects. I think that's really it. There's no 3D effect in it. So that's probably the unfortunate thing when it comes to this game, is that its remaster is not bad, but there's a lot of flaws with it. The gameplay itself is fine, plays just fine, just like the original. It's visually nice. I think it does look nice on both versions, but I think the 3DS version still has a beat in terms of visual style, in my personal opinion, just because it's designed for the system, and I think the 3D effect looks really good with this game. And I also think the translucent colors for the ghosts look more colorful, more detailed, I guess you want to call it that. Even though this one's HD, this one loses its transparent coloring for the ghost, in my opinion, when it turns into HD. It's a great remaster, mostly. It's a great game. It's just, I don't know if I could really say it's a great remaster. For one main reason, the price tag. This game costs way too much for a game that released on a 3DS 10 years ago. No, 12 this year. But for 11 years last year, anyways, is when they, it got remastered. The original game is great. I really think it's a great game. But the remaster is mostly good, but the price point is way too much. It's $60. In my opinion, that's way too much. As much as I like Nintendo, they did Metroid Prime Remastered. I put quotations on that because I think it's more of a remake. than a full remaster, in my opinion, because a remaster just kind of upscales it, some lighting and textures a little bit better. That's really it. That's not really much enhancements, but Metroid Prime Remastered has a lot more new features and better um, better detail, so much better improvements in comparison to Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and yet that game was only $40. This game was $60. I don't get it. Metroid Prime Remastered is the better game in comparison to Remastered. This is a good game, for sure. I like the original game, and I always will like it. Even the remaster, it is good. It's just, I think it should be cheaper. Cheaper is the big thing. And honestly, they should have added more content because it looks like it's the exact same game. There's literally no difference in gameplay. I don't think there's anything new or different between these two versions of the game. Small rant, but I still think it's a great game. Wouldn't be on the list if I didn't like it, because it's a great game. It just has some personal issues, and they also should have kept the Dark Moon name, personally to me. And this next one came out, and I think it was like in July, and it was the Nintendo World Championship NES Edition. Now this game collection is kind of like a speedrun tactic kind of game. Very addictive when you actually try it. It's so much fun. It's not perfect, but it is so good, and I really like the box on this thing. This box looks amazing. It really looks great. And if you haven't seen a unboxing video for it, it's available if you want to watch it. But I like the embossed design from the trophy in the center. I like how the characters are embossed a bit. It's holographic. Really like this packaging. It's really, really nice. And I still have the NES cartridge actually on my shelf. And personally, I do think it is a great collection. I mean, I got hooked on it for a while, to be honest. A good, couple months. And that was until I got this game. And this game is definitely a contender for one of my favorite games of the year. It's kind of hard for me, though, to pick which one's my favorite, because I like this one, Mario and Luigi Brothers. Well, I just kind of spoiled the name. But anyways, that new RPG game. I'm going to say it. I know what it is. I'm just going to call it later what it is. But also like Mario vs. Donkey Kong as well as a remake. But this game is something I've been wanting for PlayStation for a long time. It's not perfect, but it is so good. It is Astro Bot for the PlayStation 5. This game has won Game of the Year. I can see why it won. It's creative. It's visually amazing. It's very fun and addictive. I like the new controller features that they have into it, kind of like similar to this Switch's HD Rumble, with a new haptic feedback or something like that. I don't know, a controller like the triggers and all that kind of stuff. Really great creative. They have Ratchet and Clank as a hidden character you can save. Same thing with Jack and Dexter and a lot of PlayStation mascots, but honestly the only ones I really cared about were the ones that I grew up with. So I've seen Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon. That was great to see, spoiler alert. Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Dexter, my favorite, Sly Cooper. But yeah, Sly Cooper was in it as well. I just wish he had his own world in the game for this character, for Astro. I think he has a costume you can wear, and that's the one I put on Astro when I unlocked it, and kept it for that game for the rest of the game, because Sly Cooper is my favorite PlayStation franchise of all time, and possibly up there for some of my contender for one of my favorite IPs of all time for games, besides Mario. I can't put him above Mario. Definitely above a lot of others, though, I like. Sly Cooper was phenomenal. Anyway, going back to Astro. Creative, I 100%ed the game. And I can just thank one of my friends who blessed me with this game. And I also want to thank Jesus, too, because he is the one who led him to buy this for me. And I did not ask for anything. I did not ask for it. He just did it because God wanted him to do it. And I appreciate that. This game's amazing. It's addictive. If you haven't played it, it's definitely the game of the choice for the system, in my opinion. Definitely the best game they have released on that system. And it's exclusive for it. So that's what I like. I like exclusive games. That's why I love Nintendo, because they have the best exclusives. Astro is a great IP franchise, but the only thing I have nitpicks on is the character choices. I don't care for God of War. I don't care for The Last of Us. I don't care for any of those kind of woke kind of games. They're not my style. But they're in here, but they're not like the main thought of the game, which is good. So I can look past that. The first area is Special World. You can unlock, spoiler alert for 10 seconds, Ape Escape is the first area, and I was really excited to actually try that because I'd never played the original Ape Escape, even though I grew up with the PS1. That's one game I did not play much of. I think I've seen bits of it, and I never really got into it as much as I did Spyro and Crash Bandicoot at the time. But this game is phenomenal, creative, great music. Even though it's kind of reusing some of the soundtrack from the original Astro Bot for the PS4 VR. It's a great game, really, really worth buying. I just wish it was a little longer. There's speedrun levels that they added later on, which is great. I just wish that they also had more worlds. It's some based off their older franchises, so like a world based off Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, Jack and Dexter. Like create, I would love to see even Ratchet and Clank. I would like to see all these characters being implemented in terms of the worlds for Astrobot for people who younger don't understand who Sly Cooper is. That'd be a great way for them to introduce them. Is doing it through that because Sly Cooper is so good in terms of the franchise. But anyways, this game's great. I can't say enough about it. It's so good. It's definitely contender for one of my top favorite games. This other one is Super Mario Party Jamboree. Very great game. Honestly, I was actually taken back, surprised by it when it was first announced. Like, okay, this looks interesting. Then I got more and more into the gameplay when I seen it more and more. It's a very addictive game. I also like this little single player mode where you're kind of going around a board and doing these little mini events with these other characters, and even like a Shadow Mario like character in it. It's really neat. I really like this game. It's really fun. The mini games are incredibly great. I just wish, though, that I don't know why I even did that. Why I was going to say now. Oh yeah, I think it's like the last Mario Party, I believe, for the Switch. I believe it's going to be released because there's supposedly a new console coming out. I know Nintendo's announced it that they are going to make a new one, but they haven't announced the name or anything like that. But this game is great. If you have not played it, Jamboree is worth the time. I wish there was a demo so people could try it out, but it's really fun. Like the character selection, including my niece's favorite new character for the games. Is Pauline. I kind of like. She loves Pauline. She loves Princess Peach more, but she definitely really likes Pauline. Really great game. And this was the last two release in my collection because I don't have Sonic X Shadow Generations. Is Mario and Luigi Brothership. This was just my most recent game I got for Christmas, along with Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and it's definitely amazing. I don't care what critics say, or even some YouTubers say. I've heard this has mixed views. I don't care what they think. This game is phenomenal visually, gameplay, and music. Such great music for this game. The characters are great. The expressions of Mario and Luigi are great, and that's the reason why I hate critics' reviews because they always think it has to be hyper realistic or have to have everything absolutely perfect in their eyes rather than what they actually haven't tried. This game is great. It's very addictive. I think I'm at level 13 now, or close. I think I'm like level 13. I beat some of the bosses already. I'm in a second area now. It's really creative, really fun, underrated. I personally think it's a great game, and it's, from what I've seen, a lot of people. I think IGN gave it a low score, even if I don't even like IGN at all. There's some of my least favorite reviewers when it comes to games. I don't like reviewers. I don't listen to them anymore. Haven't done so in years because they're pointless. They're pointless and they don't know anything. And they get bought out reviews by other companies. Say, hey, give us a good review. We'll give this money to you, kind of thing. I don't like that. Same thing with Rotten Tomatoes for movies. I don't care. The IGN wanted sin into it. As a Christian, I'm glad that Nintendo did not do that. That's completely clean. It's a great game. Amazing visuals, gameplay, music, and characters. I really like Snoutlet. I think is that right? Snoutlet? Yeah. And then Connie. Forgot her name for a second. I like their characters so far. I like this Wilma character. Absolutely hilarious. I really like her characteristic. She's hilarious. I like that. Not much else I can say. It's a really great game. Very addictive. If you can find it, get it. It's worth the money in my opinion. It is $60, so it's a little up there. People say it's short. I don't care if it's short as long as it's fun. I mean, look at Sly Cooper 1. It's a great game, but it's a little short. But this game is amazing, worth the time, and honestly, that's pretty much it. That's my top favorite games of 2024, and I can't really say much else. They're all great, all fun and addictive. Uh, Not much else I can say. There's really not many physical games that came out this year that I was really looking forward to. But I have to make an update video sometime soon about Sly Cooper because he has come back in some way, but that's for another time. Tell me what you guys and girls think of this video. What do you think of all the games that came out this year? And what are your personal favorites? And I'm not into modern popular games like the free-to-play games. I hate those kind of games. So I hate Fortnite, Roblox, junk like that. Not my kind of games. These kind of games are more fun to me. Creative, you had to buy it, and it's actually something you get to keep. And that's something I like. But tell me in comments below again what you think about these games. Which one of these choices is your favorite? And then which ones that you have that I don't have that came out this year. What are your favorites? See you next time, and God bless.